Well, good evening, everybody, or good afternoon. Good evening from Brisbane, Australia. My name is Torben Nielsen. I'm the Regional Manager for Europe and Central Asia for Kaplan Business School Australia. And basically, I'm here today to introduce some of the amazing things happening at Kaplan Business School in terms of our programs and also some scholarships, some new changes in courses and campuses, and hopefully address any questions that you might have. I'm first going to start off by talking a little bit about the COVID situation. Of course, the big question on everybody's lips is when the border's going to reopen. Obviously, the government has made an official decision. We don't know just yet when those borders will reopen internationally, but everybody has their fingers crossed, and we hope for mid-2021 when students can start coming back to Australia. And obviously, there's a lot of visa holders currently offshore who have to be processed first. So we're very excited about the new year. And also some really fantastic news Australia-wide. For about 3 to 4 days now, we've been 100% COVID-free in terms of community transmission. So that's a huge feat. So definitely Australia is one of the most safest places in the world right now due to the COVID pandemic. And we look forward to welcoming international students back. I'm just going to share my screen now and open up a presentation to take you through some of the information about Kaplan Business School. Okay, let me introduce some important aspects about where I particularly work and where a lot of students are choosing for their higher education destination in Australia. Kaplan Business School Australia has been around actually for many years. It's part of a huge company and number of companies across the global family around the world. Now, basically, Kaplan Business School operates across 5 campuses in Australia. So we're working in Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide, and our most recent new campus, which is Perth. So we just opened up a Perth campus on the west side of Australia, mid-2020. In fact, I think we're the only private higher education provider that's opened up a new campus in the middle of a pandemic. So that's quite a feat, and we're very proud of that. And the reason is obviously that Kaplan Business School is a very popular destination for students choosing a business school as opposed to a public university. So we're very happy to introduce the Perth campus to students from Turkey. Of course, they can study through Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne, Adelaide as well. And basically, some of the key factors on why we've chosen Perth to open up our 5th campus is that it has a lot of industries there. There's a lot of employment opportunities for students to move from their Kaplan Business School internship into employment on the west coast of Australia. And there are also some key advantages in terms of visas and extending a 485 postgraduate visa to possibly 3 years instead of 2 years, being a regional area. Now, to give you a bit more information about Kaplan Business School Australia and what is it exactly that we do here, there are 3 things I want to actually focus on in particular. The first thing, Kaplan Business School is a higher education or private higher education institution, just like a public university in Australia, but it's a private, I guess a private university as such. And we are part of a global family of Kaplan businesses across 400 locations in 30 countries. So it's true, when you graduate from a business degree, whether it's an undergraduate or postgraduate qualification, you are truly getting a globally accredited qualification that you can take home back to Turkey or across Europe or around the world, and hopefully that brand of Kaplan will be quite well known where you're taking that to, for example, for a job interview. The second very important thing, and something that we're very proud of here at Kaplan Business School, is that we have very individualized student support. In fact, students right across Australia have voted Kaplan #1 over any public university for student support. And that's a big advantage, I think, when you're coming to study a degree in a second language. It's very important to have that close level of student support to help students not just arrive and settle into their degree in a new campus, in a new country, but actually become successful and thrive in their degree and actually produce some fantastic results. So that's a very key important part of what we promote and part of our overall goal as a working team at Kaplan Business School, whether it's academics, student support, or in the recruitment team. And the other third major advantage of studying with Kaplan Business School is that you get to work with our careers team. Now, everybody wants to obviously do a qualification in, say, postgraduate degree like an MBA and have clear links to job success or employment success post-graduation. At Kaplan Business School Australia, we offer lifelong careers team support. And as part of your degree, you can study or you can work in an internship as one of your subjects as an academic internship within your degree. And from that, we hope students can generate part-time to full-time paid employment. We have 80 plus different nationalities right across our campuses of 4,000 students nationally. And we're famous for real-world or practical learning in the sense that our classes are run through an inter-teaching model where lecturers and students engage much more in a two-way form of communication. And our assessment is built not around traditional exams and boring kind of multiple choice assessments, but constructing projects that are practical in nature that they can actually do later in their real life career. Let's have a look at some of the courses on offer at Kaplan Business School in terms of undergraduate qualifications. With our undergraduate business degrees, we have a one-year diploma of business. That actually is the first year moving into our suite of Bachelor of Business degrees with specializations in accounting, hospitality and tourism management, management and marketing. And of course, these are accredited by the relevant bodies such as for accounting, CPA, CA and ACCA. So they're fully accredited degrees. So they have about 24 subjects in total over 3 years. At Kaplan Business School, we work in a trimester system where students start their degrees possibly in March, trimester 1, middle of March, middle of July, trimester 2, and the final trimester in November for trimester 3, which is our summer down here in Australia. So students study for 3-month periods, and of course they manage their payment of fees for every 3 months. For a Bachelor of Business, students would study on average 3 subjects per trimester. Moving to our postgraduate programs, which seem to be the most popular programs for students coming from Turkey, and in particular, the Master of Business Administration or MBA program, the Master of Accounting, and our latest program, which is called the Master of Business Analytics. And the extension program for this is the 2-year program. You'll see that basically the Master of Business Extension, the Master of Business Administration, the Master of Accounting are all 2-year programs where students can study 2 or 3 subjects per trimester. And the advantage of studying a 2-year program is that it will then qualify you for the wonderful thing about studying in Australia is that you can get a 485 post-study graduate visa where you can basically work for 2 years, working full-time 40 hours per week. And our goal at Kaplan Business School is to move you from, for example, an MBA program, doing an MBA internship as part of your MBA program, moving into part-time or full-time paid employment with that internship company. And we have many success stories to tell you about. Talking about the Master of Business Analytics program, I said this program was introduced in 2020 by Kaplan Business School. We're one of the few providers that actually have this program on offer. And basically what it entails is the focus on business analytics or analyzing statistics and business market data. There should be a very careful distinction between a data analyst and a business analyst. You know, the data analyst is involved in constructing the data and reporting on that data and making up the data from the market. But a business analyst involves in interpreting the data or presenting the data to an executive team for profitable business decision making. So this degree is very useful for any small, medium, or large corporate environment where staff members must interpret what's happening in a specific target market, interpret that data, present that data, and understand that data to then make a company profitable. So you see, it's very important for even the smallest of startup companies. Upon graduation, students can get an SAS certificate for a business analytics awarded, and then become a member of the IAPA, which is basically has a lot of industry-related benefits and is the key body for business analytics down here in Australia. Students would study, for example, in the normal Master of Business Analytics, 9 core subjects and 3 elective subjects. And if it's basically the Business Analytics Extension program, 12 subjects as core and 3 elective subjects. So from the elective subjects, they can choose to do things like MBA subjects or an internship. So it's truly a very exciting, and it's currently our most popular program at Kaplan Business School. Now, our flagship program, probably the program that's been in demand the most throughout recent years, has been our MBA program. And basically, there are 3 key reasons why this program is so popular, and especially for students coming from Turkey. As we know, an MBA is respected around the world, and it's really a gateway to that higher management qualification that will get you that higher paid position within a company. And it's also the degree that will help you with your startup company and give you the right skills and knowledge to build that confidently from the ground up. There are 3 reasons why it's very important. The first reason is that the Master of Business Administration at Kaplan Business School has 7 different specializations: women in leadership, project management, digital management, tourism and hospitality leadership, health services management, entrepreneurship, and international leadership. Students can choose 3 subjects out of their total 12 subjects in 1 or 2 specializations. So they could actually do 6 or 50% of their degree tailoring to 1 or 2 specializations. So that allows you to really pick and choose the subjects that you want to study and that you think will be useful for your future career. Students doing an MBA program will study 2 subjects per trimester, so 6 subjects each year over 2 years. The second biggest advantage is that the MBA 507 subject is an academic internship. So one of your 12 subjects is an internship experience where our careers team will place you with an internship company, and you will work with them for a period of 3 months on a part-time basis, and obviously report and you'll be reviewed by that internship company and add value to that company so much as when your internship finishes, you can then create a part-time paid ongoing employment opportunity from that internship. So that's a key to one of the reasons why many students are choosing Kaplan Business School. The third biggest reason I think why our MBA program is so attractive is that we have workshops instead of lectures. And the interteaching environment allows you to interact more in class, whether it's online through a Zoom platform or in class. We have a famous 10-minute rule where basically lecturers aren't able to talk over 10 minutes and must let the class of students interact and do a project and report back to the class and have their say and communicate in class. There are also no exams in the MBA program, and we focus on practical project making and things that you would do that would mimic real life tasks as a real digital marketing manager or as a real corporate manager or health services manager. And it's a very strong focus, if you look at our subjects, on EQ and CQ subjects, looking at emotional intelligence and cultural intelligence, which is in high demand by employers around the world these days. I'm going to now open up a short video which will our Kaplan Business School Dean will introduce the MBA program in more detail. Here's the short video.
What is it about our MBA at Kaplan Business School that makes it truly transformative in terms of its progressive delivery? Is it the wide range of specializations from which students can select not just 1, but 2? Is it that one of those specializations is women in leadership, the very first of its kind to be offered in Australia? Is it the industry guests who are present in every subject at every campus, every trimester, to demonstrate how the theory being taught in class can be applied in the real world? Is it our emotional intelligence subject, which is core which means every student has to complete it because we regard it to be as important as traditional cognitive intelligence? Is it the structure of the course, which means half the subjects are electives that enable students to craft the course to suit their interests and career aspirations? Is it the complete absence of all prescribed textbooks, meaning students never have to buy them? Is it the complete absence of final exams, all of which have been replaced by practical, job-related assignments? Is it the absence of all lectures, all of which have been replaced by highly interactive workshops? Is it our famous 10-minute rule, which makes certain there's an interactive classroom activity scheduled every 10 minutes? Is it the engaging weekly resources we curate, such as videos, podcasts, industry papers, and practice quizzes? Is it the hiring of facilitators from industry and their mandatory audition before they're hired? Is it the lifelong access to career coaching, when students can receive advice not just months, but years and decades after they graduate? The answer is all of the above. And that's why our MBA at Kaplan Business School attracts more enrollments than almost any other MBA course in Australia.
Okay, I'm just going to now take you back to my PowerPoint and go through a couple more slides. Okay, so obviously the MBA programs are very attractive for those reasons that our KBS Dean just went through there. I want to introduce you to now our most recent course just released at Kaplan Business School. And this is quite an exciting one here. Now, this is called the Postgraduate Qualifying Program. This is quite a unique program in the sense that basically it's a one-trimester program available for students who don't have a bachelor equivalent to an Australian bachelor from their home country, and maybe only have an associate degree level or an advanced diploma level, and want to get straight into a master's program, such as the MBA program or Master of Business Analytics. Students can do 5 subjects over 3 months, 1 trimester, and move straight into a postgraduate course. Now, currently with Kaplan Business School, for trimester 3 in November and trimester 1 next year, we are offering this program at no charge. So this is a free course that students can do over 1 trimester and move straight into qualifying for a Kaplan Business School postgraduate program. So even though you may have been in the workforce for many years, but you never received a bachelor level qualification in your country, you can still apply for this program and move straight into completing an MBA program. Let me now show you a second short video, which again from our Kaplan Business School Academic Dean will basically take you through and show you just what this course is all about.
At Kaplan Business School, we know there are bright and ambitious students who are almost ready for postgraduate study. And it's because they're so close to meeting our entry requirements that we've developed a postgraduate qualifying program. Here's how it works. Let's say that student is you. And let's say you've completed an advanced diploma or an associate degree, but your true aspiration, what you really want, is to be a graduate of a master's course, which we know can be overwhelming, because to even enroll in such a course often requires at least another year of study, which, apart from the time commitment, can also amount to tens of thousands of dollars. Which is where our postgraduate qualifying program comes in. It enables you to bridge the gap in just 1 trimester rather than 2, thereby saving you time and money. Then, upon completing all 5 subjects, you can begin to progress through to your preferred master's course. That might be our Master of Accounting, which has been designed so that every class, every subject is a highly interactive workshop with electives you can select in our analytics courses. Or you might prefer our actual Master of Business Analytics course, which stands apart from others in the education sector. Or you might be drawn to our popular MBA, which enables you to enroll in not just one, but 2 specializations, such as entrepreneurship, international leadership, health services management, digital management, project management, tourism and hospitality leadership, and women in leadership. So, why choose us? Why choose Kaplan Business School? First of all, there's the comfort of knowing the same group of teachers and the same group of support staff will guide you not only during your postgraduate qualifying program, but throughout the remainder of your studies. You should also consider us because we are the only independent provider in this entire country to have been shortlisted in the prestigious AFR Higher Education Awards specifically for the International Education category. And we're the only provider in the world to have been shortlisted in 2 categories at the Pioneer Awards, being the most respected awards platform on this planet for international education. We're a global finalist for progressive education, specifically for our MBA, and for employability, international impact for our career service. And when it comes to quality education and student support, independent data from the federal government proves we at Kaplan Business School outrank every single public university in Australia. So if you aspire to graduate with a Master of Accounting or a Master of Business Analytics or an MBA, our postgraduate qualifying program can make it happen for you sooner. It is your key to postgraduate success.
Okay, so that introduces a little bit about the postgraduate qualifying program, particularly for students who don't have a bachelor level equivalency in Australia, can look at the ways to getting a master's degree and getting on that dream to completing postgraduate study. Let me take you back to a couple more slides. Now, as the Kaplan Business School Dean mentioned in that video, students completed a survey, and they do this every year, which is called the Quilt Survey, and have rated Kaplan Business School #1 out of any public university in Australia for student support and overall quality of their educational experience. So that's actually students saying they love the experience and the level of support that's provided by our academic and student support teams around our 5 campuses, more than any other public university in Australia. So that if you're chasing that kind of environment where you want to have your degree studies completed with confidence and knowing that you have the right people to contact if you need assistance and you need help, whether on the academic level or counseling level, Kaplan Business School can definitely help you in that respect. And as we talked about previously, a big factor about Kaplan Business School is how we're providing internships as a part of your degree and also alongside your degree. You can study an academic internship as one of your subjects, for example, in the MBA program, or look at working with our careers team for an external work placement alongside your degree. And as you can see, some of these big names here, we work with a huge range of industry stakeholders across a range of different industries: accounting, marketing, startup companies, governance, a range of different areas that students can work in. And what happens is students sit down with the careers team about halfway through their degree and work on the best company, or if they have a company of choice they'd like to do the internship with, they can provide that information and we can help organize that for them. Now, I'll give you one statistic here. 1 in 3 students placed in academic internships are offered ongoing employment. It's actually increased up to about 2 in 3 students getting ongoing employment for their academic internships. And for postgraduate employment rate, say, let's go back to an MBA program, 100% of our students receive employment following their graduation. So we're very proud of that statistic. And 100% of our host companies are satisfied with our students. So it's a very close and lovely mix of matching up student and host provider. Now, during the COVID pandemic, obviously things definitely changed for most of us. And one thing that sort of increased, I guess, and one thing that also didn't change is our ability to offer internships. But what we increased is the level of online, or what we're calling a virtual internship, where students are still doing their internships as part of their Kaplan Business School degree, but they're doing these online as a virtual internship and still getting the correct experience and practical experience and exposure to that industry as they would normally get through an internship. So this is something that's ongoing, and students can still continue to do a virtual internship online from anywhere in Australia, working with companies right across our very large country, or work with the internships obviously on a day-to-day basis in their office. Let me show you one final video today, basically indicating how the internship experience has been going for one particular student. And this is obviously the virtual internship. This is a lovely student we have called Zofia from Sweden, and she talks about her experience and the benefits of studying a virtual internship at Kaplan Business School.
Basically, if you graduate with hands-on experience from your chosen industry, then you are way more likely to get paid jobs quicker than those who don't. So an internship is a great way to kickstart your career, and it really doesn't matter if that is a virtual internship or not. A lot of services are provided online already, so you might as well just ride that wave and embrace the digital revolution that we're all part of. I personally feel that it has enriched my studies with the KBS so much, and the best feeling that I get out of this is the feeling that I now have that hands-on experience. Well, for me, who has actually completed a normal face-to-face internship in an office as well, I'm realizing that it's actually not that different in many ways. Like, I still have a set time when I sit down by my computer. I've got tasks to complete. I've got emails to send. I've got meetings to attend. But it's just all done electronically, and be able to ask questions if you have them. You can get support from your supervisor. You get feedback when that is required, so you can keep learning and improving, and you basically realize quite quickly that you do form part of the team, even though you don't see your teammates in person. And it's basically everything that I hopefully would have learned from another face-to-face internship, but maybe even more. I've gotten a lot of insight into the industry and a bit more clarity on what I like and where I would like to take my career, and also I've got some great new connections, got a good reference for my resume, and what my online internship has also really trained me in is that ability to take responsibility for my own work, to get it done without maybe as much supervision.
Okay, so that basically showcases the benefits of a virtual internship, and obviously this is ongoing in Australia. Students can continue to do them at a company or in their office or online, so that's a really fantastic thing to have. Okay, a couple more things I'd like to share with you here. Let's talk a bit about some of the financial incentives available for students moving forward and also during the COVID pandemic. Kaplan Business School has always offered very attractive regional scholarships, and particularly for students coming from Turkey and the Europe continent as such, can actually receive up to 20% off their total degree price. So that can reduce, for example, a Master of Business Administration. They can substantially reduce that fee right down from, say, a $45,000 degree to only $36,500. So $36,480 to be precise. So these scholarships are dependent upon a grade point average from your previous qualification, maybe offshore in Turkey. If you've done a bachelor degree, for example, if your average level is above 65%, or if you have a couple of years, 2 years work experience and can provide employment statements and a resume, we can definitely go ahead and award that scholarship moving forward. Now, some of the other attractive benefits on the financial side for COVID is that currently for trimester 3 in November this month, and also trimester 1, we're offering a $500 temporary tuition reduction. So that's a discount of an extra $500 towards your trimester fees for that trimester. So there's a 20% scholarship in total, a $500 discount for that subsequent trimester. And we also have a high achiever scholarship where students who have done very well in their previous qualification can get up to 30% scholarship, and that's available as well. Now, what's just been released just this week at Kaplan Business School are some new scholarships, and these are particularly relevant to yourself being offshore in Turkey at the moment. You can now receive a scholarship up to 20% by being an online offshore student. So if you're wishing to commence your degree right now, or in the next couple of months, and not wait until those borders reopen, and go ahead and enroll in a Kaplan Business School degree and get a student visa, you are able to receive a 20% scholarship in addition. So up to 30% you could receive as a discount off your qualification. So that's really exciting. And that's obviously for the students who now want to make a head start, not put their dreams on hold until the borders reopen. Let's face it, we're hoping for mid-2021, but it could be later given the number of 160,000 visa holders currently offshore. They'll need to be processed and quarantined. So we definitely are recommending students who want to start their degrees and get on track to commence their degrees online offshore now in Turkey, and also have all of that study offshore credited to being eligible for a post-study 485 graduate visa as well, which is great. The government's kind of signed off on that. So there are some really clear benefits for the 485 visa and also for on the financial side to have that extra 20% scholarship and discount by starting or commencing your study online from offshore. I'll send through a couple of links in our chat box to share with you that'll showcase some of the information around some of these incentives on the financial side. Now, talking about our next trimesters coming up for 2020 and 2021, our next trimester actually commences next week on the 16th of November. Students can still enroll right up until the end of November. So if you do wish to commence your degree online for this trimester, you can definitely apply. We have a number of agent partners through Turkey that you can get in contact with. Our next trimester for 2021, trimester 1 commences on the 22nd of March. Trimester 2, 2021 commences on the 19th of July. And trimester 3 in 2021 commences on the 15th of November. So basically every 3 months we have a new trimester starting there available. Okay, so I think in summary, I'd like to sort of reiterate that Kaplan Business School has clear benefits for students coming from Turkey to study in Australia in the form of postgraduate programs or undergraduate programs in business, allowing students to have industry experience through their academic internships and work placements. They can also have a high level of student support available throughout their degree, and of course, lifelong careers team support available for students to do networking and build their careers around their Kaplan Business School degree where it all begins. I'm just going to now stop sharing my screen and look at a couple of links I'm going to forward you here in the chat box so you can start previewing some of the things I just played you. Let's see if this works. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to share with you firstly the video that I just presented from our Kaplan Business School Academic Dean. Now I'll take you to our website here as well. I'll send you the link which will take you through some of the important information about scholarships and course information. And the very important regional scholarship for Europe. And our general website here. I'm just going to put in my email address here. If you'd like to get in contact with me directly, feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to run a Zoom call with you and discuss your opportunities and what you're looking for further. So it's torben.nilsson@kbs.edu.au. Feel free to send me through an email at any time in the future, and we can connect through various social media to have a chat and make sure we're choosing the best degree and possible career option for you moving forward. Okay, that's the end of my formal presentation now. So I think what we'll do is open up to some of the questions that have been coming through and look at ways to help you address some of these and make sure you've got all the information you need today. Can we go through here and look at our question list? Let me address, we've got quite a few questions, which is fantastic. So I can see the interest already coming from students in Turkey. I'm not going to pronounce them with your names because they're very hard for me. So I'm going to now go through some of the questions. The first question is a bachelor degree duration 3 years the same as a degree in the UK? Do we need to study a foundation year? So the answer to that question, firstly, the first part is yes, a Kaplan Business School is a 3-year program. Often different from the UK, which may be 3 or 4 years. So there's no need to study a foundation year. There are just 3 years in a Kaplan Business School Bachelor of Business degree. Second question, what are the application requirements for a graduate certificate in business analytics? Well, on the academic side, to apply and be eligible to apply, you obviously have to have a past degree, which is equivalent to an Australian bachelor degree. And as I mentioned, and the video mentioned, we have a postgraduate qualifying program. So even if you don't have that bachelor degree, you can commence that free 1-trimester course and move straight into a business analytics certificate of business analytics or a master of business analytics. So on the English side, if you're doing the postgraduate qualifying program, we will require a level of IELTS 3. Kaplan Business School has their own online placement test, which is called a KITE test, K-I-T-E, which we can organise for you to take and check your level of English offshore online. And other than that, there's a couple of GT documents, genuine temporary entry documents, GT form, and what's called a SOP, a statement of purpose, where you can clearly indicate how this Kaplan Business School degree will be assisting your degree when you return home offshore. And we work with a number of representative agents across the region in Turkey who I can definitely put you in contact with. The third question, is it possible to start our education online and then continue on campus? Yes, as I mentioned, definitely is. You can commence your degree online from offshore this trimester and have that counted as eligibility towards a 485 postgraduate degree. And then come down when the borders are open next year and continue maybe the second half of your MBA program and move into some internship possibilities at one of our 5 campuses across Australia. There's the golden question here. When Australia will open the borders for international students? We are all hoping for mid-2021, July. However, it's subject to a lot of aspects, and it's really up to the Australian government that we hope will make an announcement either the end of this year or early next year. So for that answer to be, that answer to that question to be really formed, we really have to wait for a government announcement, and we think that will be later in the year or early next year. If you want to apply to Kaplan Business School, the question is, do you need to apply via an agent? The answer is yes, you do need to apply via an education agent, that is currently offshore in Istanbul, for example, and we have a number of professional partners there based in Istanbul who can definitely help you with some of those applications and without any kind of associated fees other than your visa fee. Can I have more information about the MBA? Certainly. Please reach out to my email. I'll be happy to send you more information about the MBA. As I said, it's just like any master's program where students can have an academic bachelor as evidence, work experience, and an IELTS level of 6.5 or an equivalent on our online placement test. Next question, how many intakes do you have for the master programs? And actually all our programs. Is there any changes about intakes, application deadlines due to COVID? No changes. We've kept our same intake dates. There are 3 intakes that I mentioned in my final slide. So mid-March, mid-July, mid-November. And students can apply anytime right up until that intake date and maybe a week after that actual intake date and apply through that agency for their application to Kaplan Business School. It usually takes between, if we've got all the right documents, 48 to 72 hours, and then you can have an offer letter to go ahead and accept and then receive what's called a COE, a confirmation of enrollment, and then that agency will help you on the visa side and take care of all of that for you. So it's relatively a seamless and a short process that might take 4 to 5 days. Next question here, if we get a job offer from a company that we do the internship, can we get a work permit after graduation? That really depends. Again, that's probably the reason why we do and go and see an education agency, is they can give you advice on what the next step would be. As I said, there's a visa called the 485, subclass 485, graduate visa, which allows you to work 2 years in Australia after completing a 2-year program, such as an MBA or Master of Business Analytics at Kaplan. So from that, you can attach maybe, for example, a business analyst, which is on the skills list, looking at opportunities for various sponsorship or further visas that allow you to continue on your track to more permanent stays in Australia. Do you offer sessional English? If we do, what's the English language requirements? Kaplan Business School has a sister company, which is Kaplan International Languages, and they are offering English courses right across Australia, and some of them actually in our same campuses. So you can study an English course as a package with a Kaplan Business School degree in the same campus as Kaplan Business School. So, and from then you can move directly and transition directly into a Kaplan Business School degree. Now, some really important information that I'll share with you now too is currently we have, if you're thinking about commencing your English either online, offshore, or commencing your English in Australia before a bachelor or a postgraduate business degree, we are currently offering for free, at no charge, 10 weeks of free English for academic purposes course. So that's 10 weeks, and we're calling this an English Advantage program. We're 10 weeks of free English in an EAP course if you package that with a Kaplan Business School degree. So you'll pay for the deposit into the Kaplan Business School degree as one subject, and then you'll have that free English course for 10 weeks as an EAP only, English for academic purposes, which you can study online in Turkey, or you can study when you come out to Australia on one of our 5-6 campuses across Australia, and then commence that as part of your package. So definitely, we have opportunity for an English package, and there's some discounts obviously on things like enrollment fees if you package with your business degree. Now, is it a compulsory requirement for a job experience for an MBA application? If you're applying for the MBA, you can either have a bachelor degree or a couple of years, 2 years or plus work experience, and we look at what's called a mature age entry requirement. So even if you don't have a bachelor degree, you can look at a mature age entry or look at the postgraduate qualifying program and work through that particular pathway for an MBA. Now, obviously, a high GPA will allow you to have a higher level scholarship, such as a high achiever scholarship, where we expect a GPA of 90% to get the full 30% scholarship. So the GPAs are very important for your scholarships. What is the difference between a graduate diploma and a graduate certificate? Well, the main difference is it's kind of nested. We often start with the MBA program at the top. So we have an MBA, which is 2 years, a graduate diploma, which may be about 1 year, and then the graduate certificate, which is or 1 year or 4 months maybe, and a graduate certificate, which is often 2 trimesters. So the graduate certificate, the graduate diploma, the MBA or the MBA. So it's kind of a short version. If you head over to our website, you can see those course durations and the type of subjects. Often a graduate certificate course will involve studying only 4 subjects over 2 trimesters over 6 months. So it's a shorter course. And you can package that also with an MBA later. What's the difference? Could you please tell us about the language requirements? Yep. So for the postgraduate qualifying program, it's an IELTS 5 or equivalent. If you look at a PT Pearson exam or a Cambridge exam, equivalent to an IELTS 5. Direct entry to an MBA program will be an IELTS 6 level. So I mentioned 6.5 before. An IELTS 6 level for direct entry, and Kaplan Business School can issue you with a free online English placement test. So if you'd like to take that English placement test, please reach out to me anytime, and I'll be happy to send that through and organize for you to take that online from Turkey. Now that concludes, I think. I'd like to invite everybody else to any other further questions. If you're still with us here tonight, if you have any other questions at all about some of the interesting things happening at Kaplan Business School, scholarships, internships, graduate opportunities for employment, please feel free to ask now. I'll just wait for a couple of minutes. No, okay. So what I'll do is I'll just direct you back to some of the chat box links I've sent through to here. Please visit our website, www.kbs.edu.au, for more information. Reach out to my email address, torben.nielsen@kbs.edu.au. Unfortunately, I would normally be in Istanbul this time of year, lovely Istanbul, this time of year, but if it wasn't for the COVID pandemic, I was there around this time last year. Absolutely loved it. I do look forward to coming back and meeting with some of you in person, hopefully next year once we start traveling again. Otherwise, please reach out to me through various social media at Kaplan Business School, and I'll be happy to run an individual Zoom conversation with you to tell you more about some of the opportunities for you and discuss how Kaplan Business School can fit into your academic goals and your future career. At this point, I'd like to complete my formal presentation, and thank you very much for your time, and let us know if you have any further questions, and we wish you all to stay safe over the winter in Istanbul. Keep safe, and we hope to see you in beautiful Australia very soon.
Torben, thank you very much for the great presentation. You covered all questions. So also, as I remember, you shared your contact details in the chat box, so they can reach you for the further questions. Thank you very much again for joining us and all the information you provided. Is there anything you would like to add before we say goodbye?
I'd just like to thank you again for attending, and we do have another IEFT webinar talk coming up in December, so please look out for that if you want to find out a little bit more about Kaplan Business School as well. I'll be with you guys again discussing some other features of what the amazing things we're doing at Kaplan Business School. Please go out to our YouTube page with lots of videos there that share our students' experience, so you can get a really good feel of why Kaplan Business School is the preferred provider over any public university in Australia. Thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much again. Have a good day. Have a good evening.
Thank you very much. All the best.
Bye-bye.